Welcome into Vikings Central. Brett here with you. I just wanted to hop on real quick. Probably going to go about 10, 15 minutes, depending on what we got here for anyone hopping on. Just want to talk a little bit about the Vikings' first padded practice here this afternoon. Pretty big step in the offseason program, getting ready for that first preseason game versus the Texans. And then obviously week one, Monday Night Football versus the Chicago Bears, which is obviously a big game for the Vikings, but not only the Vikings, also J.J. McCarthy, which will, in theory, be his first NFL start as a starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. So a lot of stuff going on, of course. All right, before we hop into this, I do want to shout out our sponsor, That's Badass Wood Art. You see it up there in the left-hand corner. Use code VC15. You can find him on Twitter. Go to his website, that's badasswoodart.com. Use code VC15 for 15% off and all custom woodwork. Just a fantastic company over there. Also want to shout out our Substack real quick, substack.com /Vikings Central. You can find more content over there, written form, short video form, and pretty much everything between us guys over there at Vikings Central. All right, again, just wanted to talk a little bit about the first padded practice, what to expect, and then I might open up for some questions if there is some. If not, I'll just hop off real quick, and we'll go from there. But J.J. McCarthy, obviously going to have all eyes on him. He's had a really good start to the training camp here so far. The first about four days or so of training camp has just strung together a couple good days, which you want to see from your young quarterback at 22 years old, building that chemistry with Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, Jalen Naylor. Obviously, you want Justin Jefferson to come back, and then they can start building that chemistry as well, but that's obviously going to take some time. Don't want to rush a hamstring injury, especially when it's the best wide receiver in football, one of the best football players in general in the NFL. So just building that chemistry with his weapons and along the offensive line as well. Don't have your star left tackle, or you don't have your big free agents signing and Will Fries out there yet, but those guys should be implementing into it here shortly, hopefully here in the next couple weeks or so. Again, gearing up for week one versus the Chicago Bears. I mentioned this on my earlier clip. If anyone saw that on Twitter or on Substack, also want to see Dallas Turner in pads, see if he's evolved any as a pass rusher. Obviously, you're not going to see everything right off the bat, but has he added any moves to his repertoire? Has he added any different stunts or anything like that will help him get to the quarterback, make an impact in the run game as well? He's also a pretty decent cover linebacker too if he needs to go out in coverage. So what has he developed over there as well? Just become like that total package that you expect of a first-round pick, and also all the capital you gave up to go select him as well, just to see what he's added, to see the growth. Like I said, he's put on some muscle. It looks like he looks bigger out there, looks more mature. So just to be able to see him maybe gear up for a really big season, maybe aim for 7, 8, 9 sacks, which would be a really good marker for that. So also want to shout out our TikTok real quick. You can find us over at Viking Central 1 on TikTok. I've been posting it over on my X page as well. Just find us over there and follow us. Again, short video form, kind of going to piece up our podcast. If you can't make it for a whole 30, 40, 50-minute podcast, you're going to see short little clips over there about certain topics that we're talking about. So just, again, more content that we're trying to give you guys. We really want to grow this thing at Viking Central. Obviously, it's an exciting year for Purple and the Minnesota Vikings, especially with the first-time again starter, J.J. McCarthy. What's the defense going to look like with Brian Flores? Who's going to be your top corners? Is it Byron Murphy Jr.? Is it Isaiah Rodgers? Who's the third guy? Is it Jeff Okudah right now? He's been one of the standouts, in my opinion, of training camp so far. It sounds like he's being really aggressive. He's not afraid to kind of get up in these really good weapons faces. Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson. He's out there to compete, and you love that, and I'm sure Brian Flores loves that. Just can't get to a point where it boils over a little bit, but I love the competitiveness, love the juice that Jeff Okudah is bringing so far. And what else does the depth look like over there? How's Mekhi Blackman looking coming off his ACL injury? What does Dwight McGlothern look like, the undrafted free agent last year? Is he making progress towards maybe competing and contributing this year along the secondary? Just a lot of burning questions. I also shout out Donovan Jackson, reached out to a guy that's kind of front and center over in the Vikings organization. Says Donovan Jackson, he's looked solid. I didn't really go into too much more detail on that, but if you're looking solid, playing up pretty much along the first offensive line with the starters. You can't ask much more than that. I'll keep kind of rambling here a little bit, but if there is any questions, put them in the comments. I'll answer pretty much everything for the next 10, 15 minutes or so. Again, if there's no questions, it is what it is, and I'll move on with my day. But if there is any questions, again, I will answer anything that you guys have. But those are the kind of the big points that I'm kind of looking for right off the bat. Our secondary and our two 2024 first-round picks, and J.J. McCarthy and Dallas Turner. Just kind of how are they going to develop? How are they going to evolve as players? Because if you hit on your quarterback and you hit on an outside linebacker, that's going to kind of wreak havoc along with Jonathan Grenard and Andrew Van Ginkel. That's a really solid haul and probably potential to be a Super Bowl contender, which is really huge in my opinion. But again, just wanted to hop on here. If anyone has any questions at all, throw those in the comments. If you are over on YouTube or over on X, I'm only doing those two right now. Facebook was being gimmicky for some reason, but if you're over on X, if you're over on YouTube, don't be afraid to throw a question my way. Just throw it in the comments, and I'll read it and I'll throw it up on the screen as well. But Brett here with Viking Central again. Our sponsor, that's Badass Word Art. You see the code up there. Substack, TikTok. Make sure to just follow us over there. Subscribe to us on everything, especially here on YouTube as well if you're watching over there. Just trying to grow this community and want you guys to be involved too. Steve, a guy I'm working with over at Viking Central, he's also doing a lot of other projects that just want to continue to grow and give you guys as much content as we can as we just continue to go and aiming for week 1 of Monday Night Football versus Chicago Bears. And we could even get into that topic with Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson and the Bears offense over there. That's kind of been a hot topic in the NFL community and on social media and stuff. It's kind of been a little interesting over there. But, hey, this is Viking Central, not Bears Central, so we'll keep it to the Vikings. Haven't really got any questions in here yet so far, and that's all right. I got one here from Tyler, actually. How concerned are you about Jefferson's hamstring tweak? Anytime it's a hamstring, a groin, a calf, there is some worry. I'm not going to totally dismiss it. Especially when he had an injury like this 2 years ago where that hamstring kept flaring up. He missed several weeks. It was on the opposite leg actually, but he felt it right away and he's like, I'm not going to mess with this. So I think they're playing it really smart. It is about 5-6 weeks to the opener yet. So they got some time to just make sure they're doing everything right with that hamstring, nurturing it right, doing all of the rehab that he needs to do to just get back to 100%. And I know Kevin O'Connell, and I know the strength staff and all the medical guys and Justin Jefferson himself, they're not going to rush it, especially, again, when it is a hamstring. So just be careful with it. And I think if they do that, he'll be back ready for week 1. Ready to go full bore at it. And I know he's going to be ready regardless. We just want to see that little bit of chemistry with JJ and Justin. And I know they've worked out together pretty much all off season. But obviously, again, when it's, a lower leg injury, there's always concern, especially with the wide receiver. And when they use that twitchiness so much, especially a player of like Justin Jefferson, who does really, rely on his cuts and his sudden twitch movement to get open and get downfield. Yeah, it's always a concern. Great question, Tyler. If there's any more questions, make sure to hop them in here. I got about 5 more minutes to do this. But again, that's the only injury that we're really truly concerned about right now, which is a big thing. Too bad it is your star wide receiver. But it seems like everyone has stayed pretty relatively healthy. Harrison Smith has missed a couple of days of practice. Maybe that's just some veteran rest days. Maybe it is something else injury-wise, but I think he's kind of been the only notable one. Josh Metellus missed some stuff with a foot, did get his contract done. I think Kevin said he's going to be ready to go today, so we'll be watching to make sure he's out on the field here as well to see if he's going to just participate in the first padded practice. Last call here on questions. Tyler did ask me one. Otherwise, there's probably going to be more after practice today. Just wanted to hop on before they did take the field, or probably getting onto the field right now about last hot day of the week for these guys. So hopefully, I think it's supposed to be back in the 70s here the rest of the week. So the guys are probably going to be looking forward to that. But everyone stay safe out there. There's some nasty, nasty weather coming into Minnesota here, South Dakota, Iowa here in the next few hours. So just everyone stay safe. And yeah, Skull, I don't see any more questions coming in, which is all right. Just want to talk a little bit about what I'm looking forward to in this first padded practice. I want to see the defense flying around a little bit, especially Dallas Turner. What's the secondary going to look like? How's J.J. McCarthy look like throwing to his weapons on the outside and his tight ends and T.J. Hawkinson and Josh Oliver? And, another thing I want to look at is the splits between Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason. How is that carry distribution going to look in the backfield? But Viking Central, again, if you guys are able, subscribe to us on YouTube and on Substack. Also follow us on Twitter, over on Facebook, TikTok, and then also support our sponsor over at That's Badass, which would be a really big help as well. Use code VC15. Again, this is Viking Central. God bless. Skull. We'll see you in the next one.